So, good afternoon, Srishti.
Good afternoon, sir.
First of all, I would like to congratulate you on your fabulous performance, achieving All India rank 65 in AILET.
Thank you, sir.
So, tell me, how is the feeling?
Sir, obviously it is a great feeling indeed. But when you look back and reflect on your journey, it feels like all the entire hard work, it has culminated into this result.
Great one. Srishti, you've been associated with ClatPrep for the past 1 year. You took all the classes. You were quite sincere because you would, and you have given all the mocks. So the kind of mocks we gave you, in fact, the kind of mocks which were available in the market as well, like all of the institutes they prepared. And at the end of the day, when the paper actually came, so there was a total deflection from what we used to give, right?
Yes,
In
sir.
fact, the pattern of the paper totally changed. So what was the first feel of the paper when you took it in your hands?
So initially, when I went into the exam center, I had this in my mind that I'll start with LR, then GK and English. But as soon as I opened the question paper, the English section and the LR section were merged into one another. So indeed, that was a surprise, and my brain went into a brain freeze at that particular moment. But the thing was that you need to come out of it and just start doing the paper. That was the trick, and I started attempting the paper from the beginning itself. Because all the strategies that you made while before the paper itself, all were nullified because low key they weren't able to be executed in the paper itself.
Yeah, this happened with lot many students actually. The preconceived strategy which they formulated because of the mocks they appeared in, and then finally when the paper came, it was totally unexpected that the English and LR would get combined, and they would belong to the same passage, in fact same topic. But there were quite a few questions, yeah, in fact I would call them sets in logical reasoning especially, which was not actually for which the passage was not required, though it was somewhat related to the topic, but you did not go through the passage. So were you able to identify those sets as well?
Yes, sir. Blood and relations. One was of direction sense test, and the rest two of syllogism. So if you are not, even you didn't get the passage itself, you will be able to solve those particular sets. But the thing was that they had indeed a lengthy question to formulate, and then you had to do it. So the thing was that even if you didn't read the passage, you might be able to get the answer. But the passage itself, the question itself was a bit lengthy to do. So my thing was that if I'm able to detect which question it is and I'm able to get the answer in one go, that's it. Otherwise, I'm going to skip to another question.
Okay, great. So did you attempt English section first, LR section first, or you went on attempting the questions in serial order? I mean, both English and LR simultaneously.
Sir, I was attempting them simultaneously. But in the midway, I jumped to the GK section to boost my the confidence, and then I get back to the same way.
Okay. How would you rate the overall difficulty level of the paper?
It was indeed difficult. I would not deny that, especially when there is no precedence of this thing happening before. It makes it all the more difficult. But I think English and GK section actually helped me to raise my marks. The LR section, I found it quite difficult.
Okay. What was your average score in the mocks you gave here? In AILET?
In AILET, I think it was 80s. 80s
it was in 80s. Okay. But the score in the actual AILET exam, obviously because of the drastic change in the paper pattern and the difficulty level which went high, the score went off a little. I mean, it was towards the downward trend, but still you made it into the top 65 ranks. That is something, commendable. So you did a very good job, Srishti. I congratulate you for that purpose. Asha, tell me one thing. You are giving boards as well this year?
Yes, sir.
So now, since you are at 12th, in fact, how do you manage the preparation for AILET and the board exam simultaneously?
So, in the beginning of my 12th standard, I was devoting them equally, at the time equally, to Clat, AILET, and my boards. But I think after Diwali, I didn't actually did for my anything for my boards. I have left them entirely because my plan was even in 1.5 months, I'll be able to complete the syllabus of boards. So after Diwali, I haven't touched any of my 12th books because
Okay.
that's the thing that you need to do. You need to prioritize what is important and what's not.
Right, right. So that means what the takeaway which the class 12 students would get from you here is initially you can prepare on both. I mean, you can focus on both things, the board exams and the CLAT and AILET examinations. But then last 2 months specifically, if we talk about, you should focus entirely on the CLAT and AILET exam, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Indeed.
do you feel that that 2 months which you prepared for CLAT and AILET, it is more than enough? Yeah, there has to be a starting boost up like you prepared initially as well.
So 2 months are genuinely not enough for CLAT and AILET. You need to have a backup, and I would say, especially for the GK section, if you are reading newspaper for at least 2 years, it helps you a lot.
Okay. Uh, Now tell me one thing. Since you, I mean, you said that you boosted up your, I mean, study in the last 2 months. How many hours did you use to devote for this?
So I think if I talk about average, it would be some days I used to study a lot, some days I didn't. But at least 6 to 7 hours was the thing that I used to do every day. Sometimes 10 hours, but most of the days I was at least 6 to 7 hours.
So, what would you suggest the students of class 12 who are at present in 12th and would be preparing for CLAT and INLET exam next year for GK especially?
Reading newspaper is a must, especially after CLAT this year and AILET. This is the thing that you really need to read newspapers. Comprehension becomes all the more important. And newspaper is not just relevant to the topics that are like important, but it also becomes important because of certain articles that are associated with things in the past. And yes, I think newspaper becomes all the more very important. And then compendiums that were provided by ClatPrep also helped a lot, especially in the AILET section.
Okay, that is great to know. Aja, what would you like to suggest to the students who take a drop for CLAT and INLET?
Uh, so I don't think so I can advise them because I myself am not a dropper. But yes, I think increasing the reading speed becomes very important. And obviously GK is indeed important. And solving lot many sectional tests and mocks are the most important thing.
Okay. Srishti, your CLAT results are going to be out very soon, and I do believe that in that too you would score very well and achieve your desired NLU dream college. Till that, I would say all the best, and once again, I would like to congratulate you on your performance in AILET, securing AILET All India rank 65.
Thank you, sir.
Right?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Srishti. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.